Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Asher. I am 36 years old and just beginning my medical transition. Every week I've been trying to present my changes and how things are going, whether that's to help my family or my friends back in the United States keep up with things, or even here for those of my friends that I don't get to see very often. Um, just so you know, I live in Australia. I am from the United States, not from Canada. Although with the way things are going right now in the States, I might start saying that I'm from Canada just to, you know why. My changes from the very beginning has been, uh, it's been a journey. It's been fun, exciting, but a bit of a roller coaster. Uh, just from the starting tee and thinking that I wasn't going to be able to do that for 3 to 6 months to suddenly being able to do it within a month of finding out that it would be I would have to wait longer. My doctor is pretty awesome and did everything that he was supposed to do, and was able to start me on tea sooner, which is fantastic. I'm very, very grateful. So, yeah, went from a social transition state into a medical transition state. I've just been having fun ever since, gaining more confidence, just being more comfortable with myself, being more comfortable with being in the world in general, and also all supported by my amazing wife, my mother, my family, my friends, and even my church. So, yeah, that's just a little quick, brief overview. Thank you so much for listening to that. Let's just go ahead and get into these changes. Just so you know, historically, last Monday, I had my second shot of Reandron. I will go in for some blood work in about 5 more weeks just to see where I'm sitting at. And then my next injection will probably be between 5 to 7 weeks after that, depending on what my levels are looking like. So that's just a brief overview of the next month, 2 months or so. So that's how that is gonna go. And even just in that last week, there's been an increase in changes. Basically, between now and next week, I should be reaching closer to cis male levels, which means like the voice cracking should start up. Maybe a little bit more facial hair growth. It just depends. Changes in hairlines, voice deepening if I didn't say that already, muscle growth, things like that. And a lot of things take several months, if not years, to fully develop. And at this stage, I'm already seeing a lot of things that are said to like take 6 months. I'm already having, a lot of peach fuzz, growing very quickly. I already had my voice deepen. I've already had some muscle strength and growth that's pretty noticeable, at least to me. And a little bit of fat redistribution. And it's very, very quick compared to some other testosterones out there. So anyway, I actually have now written up a whole other video that I want to be able to do for you guys that goes into all the different available testosterone methods that are mostly available in Australia, which are the ones I know the most about, but also things that are available in the United States, and some misnomers about what is and is not available in the United States. So I'm gonna put that together sometime in the next couple of days, so look forward to that video. Let's get into my own changes here. That's enough waffling on about other things. So, change of my voice. If you watch a video from last week and you watch a video today, hopefully you'll notice a change, because I know I do. I always do a little clip every week. Last week, my voice had definitely come up a bit, which wasn't unexpected. My testosterone levels dipped before I got that shot. So, yeah, even though your voice technically, they say that's one of the things that is unchangeable after you start testosterone. But I think what it really comes down to is depending on what part of your vocal cords have been affected, yes. But I think mine have been, I'm only speaking in the lower register of what I was, I think, already to a point capable of. It just wasn't comfortable to speak that low. Now it is. But when my T levels dropped, obviously, if that hasn't fully changed yet, and I just went from feeling more comfortable talking down here than up here, then suddenly my T levels drop and now I'm more comfortable talking up here again. I feel like that may have been the cause of why my voice came up last week compared to this week where now it's back down. I actually had my very first voice crack yesterday. So that was exciting. So now we'll probably get into the range where it'll probably never be able to go back to where it was. So that'll start happening soon. So I'm kind of excited about that. So I have that to look forward to. Let's see, body hair. The arm hair is darkening a bit. It's not quite as blonde as it was a couple of weeks ago. It is starting to gain some tinge, some color, which is all right. I'm all right with that. No real increase of body hair anywhere else, except that I shaved the day I got my new shot last Monday. And last time I did a shave, it took almost 2 weeks for like the peach fuzz on my chin to come in with any amount of length. And this time it's been a week and I already have my peach fuzz back and a few longer, darker hairs, a few thicker hairs. Not a lot, obviously, and probably nobody else will notice it except me because I look for it. But it's made me really happy to look in the mirror and be like, oh yeah, look at that. Oh, okay, yeah, it's cool. Hair loss or anything? Thank goodness, no. That's all the same, and in fact, the follicles themselves have gotten thicker and a little bit darker than they were recently. So the thickness of my hair is coming back in, which is really nice because I was having these issues before I even started tea where my hair was all like the follicles themselves were getting thinner, and I'm not exactly sure why because all of my blood levels were perfect. I take vitamins, like my health, my diet's good. Like I don't understand what was happening there, but since I started using like this shampoo that's supposed to help like rethicken your hair or at least like give some extra health to it, it's gotten so much better. So yeah, that's good. I don't think that was testosterone related. Adam's apple. Now, finally, I am starting to, when I swallow, I feel the lump there that wasn't there before. So it's definitely on its way, but it's not gonna like form noticeably for months. Bones and face thickening. I don't think there's been a whole lot of change there. I feel like in pictures, my the prominentness, is that even a word? I'm gonna have to look that up. Basically, like my cheekbones, when I smile, they're still pretty high up, but when I'm just like sitting and you don't have my glasses in the way, they're starting to sit down here instead of up here. So things are starting to, when I used to do drag, you would do your makeup so that it would actually drop the jaw like in alignment with from here on your ear to your mouth, and then you would shade things in here to drop those cheekbones down into a more masculine shape. It's all, sculpting with makeup. And what I've noticed is that's starting to happen naturally. It's not, obviously, I don't even wear makeup. I never have, except for on stage. So yeah, that's all happening naturally now, which is pretty cool. Other growing things, they're always getting better. Coarser skin, no. That regimen that I'm using is working, so that's fantastic. Muscle mass, as I mentioned earlier. Shoulders. My shoulders, if you like, they're definitely broader than they were. They're more muscular than they were. They're firmer than they were. And so it's not that my bones, let me make this perfectly clear. My bones have not changed, like bone structure. However, testosterone does add extra layers of bone, but more like just thickening of what's already there. My structure in my shoulder area has always been kind of on the petite side. Even though the rest of me is really, really stocky, I had these itty bitty shoulders. Um which I never liked. It always bothered me. Having such like a feminine upper body, it just I hated it. It was one of the points of my dysphoria. Now, when I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh, my shoulders are coming in. And that's from a mix of muscle more than anything and that little bit of bone thickening. And that's only going to get better as time goes on. It's going to get better and better. This is very, very early on. And the schedule that I looked at, that'll be on the testosterone video, shows that I shouldn't be experiencing any major changes along those areas for about 6 months. And it's only been not even 2. So yeah, if I'm already having these results, I look forward to what will be in 6 months. So fat redistribution, again, this is something that I'm not supposed to technically see for about 6 months, but I'm already seeing it. And when they say that your fat moves to your stomach area, they're not wrong. So I already had, I've been working on trying to lose weight for a long time now, and there's nothing wrong with my thyroid. There's nothing wrong, supposedly, with anything that would cause any massive weight gain. And despite being plant-based and mostly vegan, despite exercising 4 to 5 days a week and walking and moving around and not being sedentary, I still can't lose this weight. Now I've got muscle growing on top of that. So I'm losing fat percentages, but I'm growing in muscle. That's fine. But I hadn't lost enough fat before starting tea in the first place. So wherever it was that I had it, that men don't typically carry it in, is all going to my middle now. So the chesticles area, all of that fat has nowhere else to go except for my stomach. So the only way that I'm going to fix that is continuing to do what I'm doing. And, you don't get to this state that I'm in overnight, and you can't fix it overnight. It's just going to take time. And I have to accept that. And it's very hard for me to accept, just being honest, but I will get there. I will get there. I'm part of a couple of Facebook groups, and one of them is a trans fitness group. And it keeps me kind of going because I see other people who are built just like me, who are going through the transition, that either have already gone through transition and have been on tea for about a year or two. And the massive change that they had gives me hope that things will be fine. I just have to do the work and wait it out. Acne. After it's starting. After your shot, because it's 4 milliliters of castor oil that's just being like slammed into your system. Not only does your skin get a bit more oily, you're going through puberty again. So what acne I was starting to get at times, like, again, my regimen's working. It's working a dream. So even though I'm like about to break out with something, I get it under control really quick and I can clear up within a day or so. The trigger warning of the lady time, or the shark week, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so when I when I got my shot last week, how do I explain this? So on the graphs that you can look up, and I will provide on that testosterone video, I'm actually going to provide all of these figures and graphs and information. So on that graph, it'll show that after, when you get up to about the 6-week mark after your first injection, you start to crash in the last week, from week 5 to 6. At that 6, right when you're kind of coming down and you're at about, I think it's somewhere around 10. I still got to look that up. I probably put that in the video. What NNMLs or something like that mean. But on just a point system, let's just call it a 10 out of 20. You're trying to get to 20, 21 in your testosterone levels. When you dip down to about an 8 to 10, and then you get your shot, you end up soaring within just a couple of days, all the way up, just past 20 into almost 25, and that's kind of too high. The problem with your system is any additional testosterone that you end up getting into your system that your body doesn't actually use or need reconverts into estrogen. So I think last week, right after I got my shot, I got super, super tired, which is a symptom of too much testosterone. And I had some spotting last Thursday. So it was a few days after, right on that timeline when I would have been shooting over and producing more estrogen than testosterone. And it kind of freaked me out at first, but, looking up those graphs and recognizing what was happening actually gives me a lot of comfort. So I was like, okay, all right. Within a couple of days, it'll be all right. I'll settle down. And I did. And everything stopped. Nothing has happened since. According to my calendar, I should start again in about 10 days. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll have to find out. I really hope I don't. Other drives, definitely. And then my general mood. I would say that my general mood has gone back to being nice and alert and good, just really mellow and neutral. That last week before getting my shot was very, I was so tired. Like so tired. And now I feel completely fine. I feel like I did week 2 through 4 of when I first started testosterone. So I feel really, really good now. I've been in Sydney 2 out of the last, 3-4 days, and to help my father-in-law with his new puppy. Yay! Super cute, by the way. I'm gonna have to add a little picture of this adorable dog at the end of this video. Anyway, so I was down helping him because he's never had a dog before, and I feel very honored to be able to be asked to help. And so I'm totally on board for that, but I am really tired because that's like a 3.5 hour, trip, one way. So that's about 7 hours of driving on average, per day that I went down there, on top of everything that I was doing. So yeah, pretty tired after that, but not related to testosterone, and that's fine. Irritability and things like that has not been as much of an issue. I've actually feel like I've been really nice and mellow. If I get agitated, I'm back to being able to realize that I'm annoyed by like from 1 to 30, on a irritability scale, instead of 1 to 70, and then realizing I needed to calm down. I'm hitting maybe 1 to 40. So it's still a little bit higher than before I started tea, but nowhere near as bad and as it was when I first started tea in the first week or 2. So I'm totally back down into a more mellow zone. I feel really balanced and really even. So no issues there. Thank you so much for listening to this video, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming with me on this journey. And if you have any questions about what it's like to be on transition, to be at this age in transitioning, or if you just have any general questions about being a trans person, what have you, I'm always willing to answer any questions that anybody has. Please just leave a comment below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to hear about whenever there's another video coming out, please don't hesitate to subscribe. Not obligated, but if you'd like to, please by all means do. And look forward to another video that will be coming out sometime within the next week, where it's all about testosterone and the different kinds that are available. So I just felt like there's so much information out there, and there's so much conflicting information. And we have a lot of people who are transitioning who are in the United States. And everybody seems to be on a couple of 2 or 3 different kinds of testosterone. So you see a lot of videos related to that, but you don't see a lot of videos breaking down all the different kinds, or you don't see a lot of information where it's like thorough but not overdone in such a scientific way, but also not as so simplified. Like there's one or the other. They're super hyper scientific or super simplified, where you're not actually getting all that much information. I do have training in reading scientific literature, so I went ahead and pulled that. I know how to expand on more simple thoughts, and I put it all together into information and a video that I want to produce for you guys. That way, if you're like me, where you really would like to know all of the information before you make a decision, you'll have a video to finally go to, especially if you're in Australia, because in Australia it's very different from the United States, and there, again, not a lot of Aussies are out there doing this that I have found. So hopefully I can fill in that gap and be of some assistance. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for watching and for clicking in on my video and coming on this journey with me once again. I really appreciate it. Love you guys so much, and peace.